29 countries. The 8 brands, passenger car LCV, national sales companies and importers, 15,000 point of sales. So there is a lot of things doing. And in all fairness, doing well, Dan. We see some rebound in Europe in the start of the year. Overall for Stellantis, and then we move to Lancia, Dan, but just to share some numbers, which is interesting. European market share Q4 24 was 15.4, dropping. December was 13.9. That was very bad. We restarted January in positive dynamic, 17.1. We closed February 18.1. So let me say, Dan, that we are rebounding. So we see positive dynamics. We see again positive trend. This is what we need. We are working very closely to our dealer association, European level and local level. We are working very closely with our dealers, together with Jean-Philippe, trying to reconnect. We need to be closer to the market, closer to the dealer network, closer to our customer. We see some, again, positive result. Not yet what we want, because we want to beat last year, and hopefully, starting from March, we will do it. We are fighting for that. So positive dynamics overall. Then all brands, LCV, C3 working very well. New product coming, in particular Frontera and Grande Panda, in Q2 will help. So I would like to share with you a positive outlook after a difficult H2 2024. Now we finally see some positive dynamic. I'm happy to share this with all of you.
Luca, before we go to main topic, of course, Lancia. You know, all my colleagues, even the ones who are not present, told me in a way or another, said, "Hey, let's talk to Luca. What happened in December?" Of course, everything you can and you want to share with us, because we all know that it was like an earthquake for the company.
Well, you know, Dan, at the end, you know, you are an expert, and all of you are expert of the automotive sector. It's very simple. We used our order bank without feeding it with the enough trend of with the right level of sales. No, when you simply not in the right speed of sales, keep using your order bank. There is a certain moment where order bank is, you know, is almost very low. And then you need to crack that. You need to restart from the beginning. End of December, we went through a strong Q1 marketing plan activities. So there are that are regaining speed. I see again Citroën in a better speed. I see 208 and 2008 in a better speed. I see LCV with a very good performance. We are recovering order bank, Dan. Order bank end of January was better than December. Order bank end of February will be better than January. So we are back to do our work, which is selling cars, feeding order bank, providing good process and go-to-market strategy to the network. We are well preparing the new product launches. You know, the 3008 and Grandland are improving the overall setup of Peugeot and Opel. Of course, we need Peugeot up to speed. We need Opel recovery. We know that Fiat will give to Europe strong value starting from Grande Panda, which is creating a lot of energy and enthusiasm around the network. So a lot of work done. You need to go and stay close to the market, understand what the market needs to sell cars.
Correct. We actually expected you to tell us a little bit more insight, but that's okay. I respect your confidentiality on that.
So let's do the following. End of Q1, if we are on, hopefully on the right direction, maybe end of Q1 we reconvene and we speak about the closure of Q1, which is a little bit more solid as a trend, and hopefully can give us some interesting insight on per brand, per model, what's happening per country in Europe.
Now let's go to Lancia. It's my privilege to congratulate you, even in front of my colleagues, before the gala, for this fantastic award, which is A Star Is Back. It's a premiere for us, and honestly, the idea came exactly from your work. When we all started to understand how deep, how big is the work to rebuild Lancia, which for all of us is an icon, we realized that that's something missing in our portfolio. And we realized that people like you and some others deserve all our respect for this huge job to bring back these icons, especially in the context, global context, which is more complicated than ever. And of course, even in Europe, we have so many complicated things. Obviously, now US, maybe you will tell us a little bit how is for Stellantis the situation. So congratulations. And now please give us the key elements. If you want to show something, you can share the screen. Simona can help. It's up to you.
Well, Dan, let me say that probably the best way to start is start from the beginning, when it was February 21 as Stellantis, we merged between XF and XP, Fiat Chrysler and Peugeot. And when I met with the board, and the new board asked me, appoint me as a Lancia. The briefing I got was very clear.
But it was a surprise. Sorry, it was really a surprise for everybody.
It was
even for you, huh?
Well, in all fairness, Dan, I didn't get the real meaning since the beginning. Working on that, I understood much better, and I will tell you why. Because I was told I want you to make Lancia a credible and respected premium brand in Europe, no? Well, which is a statement which says it all, because give the size of the challenge, considering the starting point, which was, and I'm proud of what it was, because that the old generation of Ypsilon, was the end of life cycle being leader in the B segment in Italy, which was not exactly working the part. So proud of what Lancia did until 2024. But moving from one car, 14 years old, one market, to a full range of product with an expansion in Europe, said it everything about the size of the challenge, which I started to understand better, working on that, because in September we presented the plan, the strategic plan, and for Lancia, the plan presented was different from all other brands' presentation, because all other brands was more in a life cycle period, more normal period, though it was about replacing the 500, replacing the Corsa, the new 208, the two new products replacement. For Lancia was a 10-year strategic plan, full strategic plan, where the new Ypsilon was not only the replacement of the old generation of Ypsilon, was the new car to start a rebound of the brand. The plan, in summary, was 3 new products: Ypsilon 2024, that you already know, new Gamma, which is a CUV segment 4.7 2026. This is Stella Medium. This is Melfi, Italy, produced in Italy. Stella Medium means for us four-wheel drive, which, this gives us Integrale, that, having an Integrale version for Lancia, it's, I see you smiling, which is, this means we are
ring a bell.
I mean, this means we are in the right direction. Stella Medium means 740 kilometer range on the BEV version. It is also true that during the plan, we also changed some decision. Gamma started to be only electric, 100% electric. 2021, our vision of the industry was different than it was 2025, and what we see now for the future. So we update the program and we added the hybrid version. 2028, well, the 2024 Y is on the market. 2026 Gamma is almost ready. I'm going to visit again Melfi in the next months to start to move from the engineering phase to the manufacturing phase. 2028 is about Delta. On Delta, well, we are still working. There is a lot of work to do, in all fairness. It's not everything done. It's not everything already completed, but the more I show, by the way, if you will come to Turin, I will show you the car with confidentiality, of course, in a confidentiality agreement, because I'm sure that you will like. We know exactly how to do it. It's very muscular. It's very, muscle, bold, geometric. It's the futuristic approach of the old Delta, the Lancia everybody's claiming for. This is the Lancia we all love. And, keep working on this. I'm sure you will love it. 3 products, 24, 26, 28. The agreement within the board was we don't need Lancia to do everything. Is the opposite of the mainstream. We don't need to go after every kind of customer target. We don't need to enter all the segments. We don't need to enter all the countries in Europe at the same time. So with 3 products in 3 key segments, we aim to cover almost 60% of the market in Europe. We decided to start in Italy and then to move for 4 countries in Europe as a first wave, which are Spain, France, Belgium, and Netherlands. 4 countries we decided not only looking to industry dimension, but also looking to a different approach of analysis. Pretty weird, but I think very effective, which is how much those markets welcome Italian lifestyle and design, and importance of digital sales. So we put these 3 indicators in a ranking, and we selected the 4 markets looking at these indicators. If we will be good in those 4 markets, more will come. But again, no rush. Let's do things well in those 4 markets and let's see what happens. Then we will decide. About electrification, we decided for Y 100% electrified. So we started with the hybrid and the electric version. We decided for getting 100% electric starting from 26. As I said, Dan, we updated this decision. Industry is not going where we're supposed to be today, so at all. So we not bad to prove we are smart. People knows how to read the facts and the numbers, so we update this decision. I don't know about Delta at this stage, in all fairness, because Delta was supposed to be only electric. At this stage, I don't know. Last but not least, part of the plan. So we started as a corner within a Fiat showroom, nice corner, in all fairness, but a corner, and 600 salesmen in common with Fiat. we strongly reshuffle this setup. Italian dealer network is strongly trusting the plan, so invested a lot. We now have 160 complete new dealerships with showroom dedicated to Lancia, separated dedicated to Lancia, and 220 dedicated salesmen. By the way, I know each of them name and surname. We speak with them almost every week. We are in a huge transformation mode. We are not premium yet at all. We simply started. I was during Belgium Motor Show looking at Mercedes, BMW, Audi. I say, this is premium, guys. Long way to go for us. We are very humble, Dan. We are very humble. We know where we start. What is important for us is to have a benchmark, to look at that, to copy and paste, to learn from that, from them, to learn from them, and to keep growing, to keep improving. Every month, do something better than we did in the previous month. We support in the network in improving. Every quarter, we send people to understand how our process are improving. Again, a long way to go, but in the right speed. The product quality will give us some boost because, of course, if we will prove that we are good in product quality, we will improve in product service, and we'll, keep closing the gap. Every month a little bit. This is the start of what happened in 21. Then, of course, we keep working, and I'm more than available to answer to your questions.
Of course, thank you very much, and we will come, all of us, with questions. I wonder myself, just to warm up a little bit the discussion, how is the new DNA of the Lancia by Luca? I will call it Lancia by Luca. It's a little bit religious in a way, because obviously we in AUTOBEST, and we know one each other, not only me, many of my colleagues, since ages. We did fantastic. By the way, soon is 10 years since we worked together for the Fiat Tipo. So we know that the CEO has a big impact, and it must have a big impact in the end, especially when you have to rebuild an icon, which is obviously not an easy job. So what is the new DNA, of course, coming back from the past?
Allora, so this is very interesting. Let's start from the beginning, which is design. I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to give you two views. One more formal, the other one a little bit more Luca way of how I personally see the topic. The more formal, we used to say that we see our brand as pure and radical. These are two words that we love a lot because this give us the possibility to take the two DNA of the brand, because actually, Alfa Romeo is performance, no? Alfa Romeo is clearly performance. Lancia is two sides of the medal, where you have elegance. Lancia is the brand of the beautiful Italian cars of the 60s, of the 70s, of the 80s with the Tema. So we want to be pure, elegant, understated, soft, really, let me say elegant is the perfect word to define this side of the Lancia brand. As much as radical, taking inspiration from the 037, Stratos, and Delta, the three cars that dominated rally competition for more than 20 years. Dan, that Lancia is the brand with the highest number of rally competition, despite we abandoned so many years ago. So the lucky I am, together with the designers team, we can look into books, You know, I have a beautiful big books in my office, and sometimes we go through the book with them, and we get inspired from beautiful design cues, design details that we love to put in our new cars. I give you an example of the new Y. The rear lighting, rounded rear lighting that we want to recall the Lancia Stratos, as much the elegant, rich, refined details of the interiors, in particular of the Cassina version. Cassina is one of the most popular interior Italian designer, very well known in all the world, where you enter the cars and you really trying to feel the feeling of the comfort, of the elegance, of the richness, of the beautiful, elegant cars of the 60s. So at the end is a design which gets inspired from the beautiful Aurelia B24 Spider, the car of many pictures, the car of Marcello Mastroianni, Brigitte Bardot, Vittorio Gasma, the beautiful Dolce Vita of the 60s, as much as the rally car that we all love. Well, this is the formal definition of the design of the future Lancia. If I can be more pragmatic, more human touching with you, I don't want to be nostalgic, because the big mistake head of brand like Lancia with more than 1 century of history can get trapped with is being nostalgic. Of course, the easiest thing is to go back to the past, because we all love the cars of the past. My opinion is this is not the right thing to do. Of course, we get inspired from the past, but we need to be futuristic. We need to look at the futures. When we do clinic of our 3 cars, the more frequent word we get as a definition of the product is futuristic, which, my opinion, prove we are in the right direction. So I know that designing cars like Y is, or like the new cars Gamma and Delta will be, sometimes will not make the lovers of the Lancia Flaminia of the Italian President of the Republic happy, but we cannot make happy only them. We need to look at the future, look at the young generation, being ambitious in terms of design, as much as we need to be very humble in our execution phase, being very, step-by-step approach, no need to do everything at the same time, do things well, do things with a list of priorities. We don't need to do everywhere. We don't need to do everything. We do the first 2, 3, 4 things we consider as best priorities, and we execute with great level of quality.
Okay, my dear colleagues, you have, as you know, the digital hand down there in the menu. So please raise your hands to ask question to Luca. And I will put another one in time they will think about their own questions. I was having, and I'm using this example because it makes sense. I had a discussion with your former CEOs, and the guy I was talking about, Mishko, can you switch off your mic, please?
Okay.
Okay. So I was talking with your big boss, former big boss, about DS, and I said, how long will be for DS to become a premium brand? And he was saying to me, Dan, how long was for Audi to become a big brand? He said 20 years. I said maybe 25, maybe 30.
Yeah, right.
He said, you see, that's the point. So in your case, in the case of Lancia, what is your prediction to come to the point when, as you actually mentioned, yes, now, I don't know, 2035, 2040, whatever, yes, Lancia is a premium brand, like it was always for the right people.
Dan, you know me, I'm very clear, direct, and sincere. I don't know. The answer is I don't know, because You know, it's already a luxury for Lancia to have a 10 years plan in the chaos of the automotive of today. This is already luxury because, you know, I'm not sure that some of my colleagues with even more important brands has a clear idea of what is going to happen for his brand in the next 10 years. So if I look at my 10 years roadmap, three cars, you know very well, you know, if you open, you know, quattro ruote, for example, in Italy, because I mentioned Italy, you know, most popular. And
you know,
look at
Alessio is with us, so be careful what you say. Alessio Viola is here. Be careful. And he's, by the way, he's the vice president of the jury. Be careful, Luca.
Well, maybe this is not by chance. I mentioned quattro ruote. So when you open the price list on Mercedes, on Audi, you know, it's not about three cars, you know, beside the versions, you know, the power. So when I speak about premium, Dan, don't misunderstand me. I don't want to be misunderstood. This is about ambition. It's about the direction. It's about, you know, the dream we have to go into a direction, no? So I don't know. In this moment, the plan we have is strong to work together with Alfa Romeo and DS within the premium cluster to reinforce Stellantis premium offer in Europe. This is at the end our aim. This is our ambition, is to use the strengths of Stellantis in terms of platform, electrification, software, top end, working together with within the three brands and reinforces a part of the industry which is top revenues, price positioning, and reinforce that part. Where, in all fairness, today we are weak. Lancia is joining with a B segment car, so not even joining a full speed, no, because it's only a B segment. At least in 2026, 2027, with a CUV, big CUV segment car, I will support even more this trend. DS, which of course needs a consolidation in France, but a sort of reinforcement plan outside of France. And Alfa Romeo, which is the brand among the three with a very strong product plan behind. Let's say that the three of us can reinforce the premium positioning of Stellantis in Europe. Long way to go, Dan. Let's be humble. Let's be very sincere. We are not at all Mercedes. We are not at all Audi. What we can do is to close the gap, is to work towards the gap. I give you another example. The previous generation on Y. We started comparing our pricing power with Audi A1, which is crazy, no? Why we decided to do this instead of Toyota Yaris or Volkswagen Polo? Because for us, was important to benchmark someone premium. We started at minus 20 points. So we started to say, well, we are so far. We closed the life cycle of the old Y at minus 14. So this means that we are still minus 14 far from them, fine, but we recovered 6. So this means, Dan, that again, humble approach, knowing where we have to do, closing the gap. Every month closing the gap in terms of quality, in terms of pricing positioning, in terms of product service quality. This is what we have to do, Dan. How much time? I don't know.
Thank you very much, Luca. Now we go in Portugal to discuss with Jose. Jose, please.
Bom dia, Jose.
Hi, good morning. Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Buongiorno. So you talked about the past and that nostalgic that we all have from Lancia, from the 70s and the 80s, basically from WRC.
In particular, Portugal.
Yeah, and because I'm Portuguese, I remember the Lancia going very well on Rally. You are still the brand number one in terms of titles in WRC. Could it, because we have already saw a version of Y for Rally, could it be an approach to promote the new brand, because it will be a futuristic brand, going back to Rally and to see you competing again on WRC? Because Stellantis nowadays it's out of it.
So, allora, this is nice to answer because this is back to the humble approach we have, and I try to give you the full and sincere answer. All my predecessor trying to bring back Lancia to rally, and nobody succeeded. In my opinion, for two reasons. First, because in all fairness, when you're trying to rebound Lancia, and I'm not the first guy to do it, we tried many times in the past, as you know very well. In all fairness, Jose, I didn't put this in the priority list at the beginning. Of course, a lot of people, in the board asked me, Luca, why don't you ask to bring back Lancia into rally? I said, of course I would love to do it. This is priority number 3. I bring the product, I bring some commercial success, and when I'm solid, I have already a proposal, but we will discuss about this in a couple of years. Second, we need to be humble. Of course, I would love to bring Lancia into WRC, to Al Mondiale, no? I would love to do that. This is a huge investment behind. I cannot simply afford today. So I rather prefer to have an humble approach, which is I go back from the beginning. By the way, in competition, in sports, you cannot be naive. In all fairness, you cannot get a mondiale like this because you call Lancia. Because I'm not Cesare Fiorio. We don't have any, I'm not Cesare Fiori at all. So I see Jose, you're smiling, which is nice. So we rather prefer to start from the beginning, go back to young drivers, which, by the way, look like fun in the rally competition, and we feel will be good. We increase and we get improved now. By the way, we have plans. We know how to do it. You know that Stellantis Motorsport is a strong and very solid team. We know how to bring Lancia to better and to higher level of competitions. We have clear ideas on how to do it. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from Rally 4. If we will good, we improve. By the way, in a few weeks, we sold already 90 of our Rally HF Rally 4, which is a big success. 90 cars is something you sell in 1 year. We sold 90 cars in only a few weeks, and we already have almost 30 cars, 30 cars joining our Lancia Trofeo 6 races 2025, which is a big success. So if we keep doing this, no problem to step up in the next category.
Thank you.
Did I answer to say?
Grazie.
Thank you. Now we go to Macedonia to our dear colleague Mishko. Mishko, please.
Hi, thank you, Luca, for your time. My question will be partly confession and partly question. In my lifetime, I had a Lancia Tema Turbo and also Dedre Integrale. So what's the future of those models? Because they was very successful, and how they can be related with the new STLA platform, which will be used also in Alfa Romeo.
Allora, thank you for the question. By the way, I'm a lover of Tema Turbo. I was 18 at that time, and I have a friend of mine. His father used to have a Tema Turbo, and then when Saturday night we used to ask to him and to his father, if he can give us his car to have some fun around. So I know very well what you're speaking about, and I'm a lover of the Delta as well. These are two nameplates we cannot play with. By the way, we did in the past, and in all fairness, when you play with Delta not rightly, with the right kind of design and product and performance and powertrain, this is not good. So let me be again very sincere. From Stella Medium, no way to come out with a Berlina, tema. But this is not the real issue. In my opinion, the real issue is that this is a playground that is today in the hands of Germans. This is a segment of market which is 90% loyal to Audi, Mercedes, BMW. So I decided to start the game in the aspirational premium environment with a car which is more SUV-ish, a little bit more sportback-ish, which is the Gamma. A little bit shorter than how a Thema can look like. It's 4.7. It's a little bit in the middle between a SUV and a D segment, giving us more, let me say, a more comfortable approach in launching into the market, where Germans are important, of course. German OEMs are, of course, stronger, but where we can have a voice, in particular in Italy and with some other markets in Europe. So Gamma will be more a sportback, more very innovative as a design. It's not really a crossover. It's more a sportback car. You can call it Thema because it's very far being a Thema. Let's see. Of course, it's in our dream to have a Thema, more Berlina, a more Ammiraglia, more flagship, a more President of the Republic car. Maybe it will be part of the next 10 years plan. Because of course sooner or later we will go through it, trying to understand and design and pitch our next 10 years plan will be like. For the moment, I will be very happy properly launching our Gamma. About Delta, again, this is 28. In all fairness, this is we say 28. A lot of things happening to the market, which is very chaotic, and within Stellantis, so can be slightly postponed. Not big problem. By the way, again, no rush. But I would love to show you the car. I would love it. We need to be with confidentiality. I'm sure that you will like a lot. I'm sure that is exactly how you will design.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but one more question. Your colleague Santo Felici announced that new Stelvio and Giulia will be built on the new STLA large platform, and they will have also electric and hybrid powertrain. Use the same approach?
No. This is bigger car. These are bigger car. Stella Medium will give me the possibility to be a little bit more, 4.7.
Sorry, I said the STLA large platform.
This is where Alfa Romeo built this car, which is different from the Stella Medium, which where is DS and Lancia are developing our cars. By the way, also Peugeot and also Peugeot and Jeep. So this is where we are developing our cars, which again give me the possibility to be a little bit shorter in terms of dimension, which will give me a bigger playground to play with within the European markets. It's a little bit bigger, where my competition will be less. We're conquering. I have zero car park in that segment, zero car park, of course. So for me, it's 100% conquest, and I need to be sure that the playground it will be pretty, it's more feasible for us in terms of conquest. Going a little bit upper in terms of dimension, as I told you before, so it will bring me more into the German OEM playground, and conquering for them, I can tell you, is very difficult. As you know very well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miško.
Other
questions? So don't be shy. Please raise your hands. Alessio, you are there. You want a question for Luca? From Quattro Rote to Luca, please.
Alessio, buongiorno.
Buongiorno, ciao, buongiorno. I can ask a question. In your new role, how will you manage some overlap that you will have in all that brand that you are managing now? In the lineup, I mean.
No, this is super interesting. I think that the division in cluster give us a clear direction, because at the end we cannot go after Dacia with Peugeot. We have Citroën and Fiat to do that, as much as we have Peugeot and Opel to go after Toyota, Polo, Toyota, Volkswagen, and Ford. At the same time, with our premium brands, DS, Alfa Romeo, and Lancia, we go after the more what is in the middle between an upper mainstream and a premium brand. This again, as I said before, this is the strength of Stellantis, because each of the brands can use the synergies. What is very important is to strongly work in the definition of the DNA of the brand, to make it very different from each other. I try to give you some example within the premium cluster, which is related to Lancia. It's not by chance that we decided 4 years ago to launch a B hatchback in Lancia and a B UV in Alfa Romeo, Y and Junior. It's exactly to use same platform, same top hat, same software, giving different going after different customer targets. Alfa Romeo say always that is designed on the driver. Lancia is taking care about the driver and the passenger, so it's normally going to have comfort as one of the strength, the USP of the car. So as much as we use synergies, the more we should work to differentiate our brand in terms of design, in terms of contents, in terms of price positioning, in terms of marketing territories. So this is the way we do. And again, I think this is working very well so far.
Thank you.
Okay. Who else want to ask questions? So, Mishko, one more? Okay, go for one more, please.
Yes, please.
Luca, we will make him driving a rally 4 car, 212 horsepower into Balocco, with Miki Biasion, maybe. Would you like?
It will be a pleasure for me.
Well,
of course.
I did. It was a pleasure, but also, some stomach problem as well.
I think that this is not the issue now. Yeah. Luca, your thoughts are very precious for us, but please share with us your thoughts about the repositioning of the brands. Many mainstream brands declare them as premium. Many premium brands declare them as luxury, and luxury brands went out of in space. And it's a question of price, isn't it?
Not only. Let me split into comments. First, if you look at, and you know very well how Lancia was before Stellantis, this was, by the way, beautiful Y, in the mid between A and B segment, in the same price band of 500, sometimes overlapping with some Panda customer in Italy, and probably competing even with some 208, a little bit in the middle. Why should invest in a Lancia which is overlapping with Fiat, Citroën, and Peugeot? So this is clear that to make Lancia living and with a 10 years lasting process, we had to change our positioning. It was mandatory, because Lancia at 16,000 transaction price has no future, because within Stellantis we have more consolidated brands into the European industry than Lancia, So why do we invest in Lancia if, at the same price band of Fiat, Citroën, Peugeot, more or less? So we had to take the challenge, and Lancia, I think, is one of the brands can do that because of the DNA, because of the glorious history, because of the past in terms of design, because the beautiful cars of the past, because of the rally. We had to took the challenge and bring Lancia with a step up. By the way, if you look at our brands within Stellantis, all the brands has little moves which are more or less horizontal, no, on the left, on the side, on the right, within custom, which is a little bit more like that, like this. Lancia instead has an arrow which does like that, which is up, no. And the reason is exactly this, because this was the only way, the best possible way to make this brand alive for the next 10 years. Now, is it a price challenge? Of course, not only. It's a quality challenge. There are a lot of customers around which are willing to pay 24,000 a B segment car, hybrid version, very well finished inside, with nice design, with 20-inch screens inside, with a nice software, with a good engine performance, with a nice BV efficiency. There is no problem to look for a 25,000 customer target in terms of hybrid, or 30,000 in terms of electric, up to. The problem is, are you good enough to provide them the quality is expecting from us? This is the challenge we have. How much time do we need to get to quality speed in line with the expectation of an Audi, Mini, Toyota customer? This is the big challenge we have. A lot of customers around. Many are coming. Y is changing our paradigm. We used to have 70% loyalty. Now we have 70% conquest. We used to have 65% female. Now we have 70% male. So the car is more in conquest, more balanced, gender balanced. We receiving customer first time visiting a Stellantis dealership coming from Toyota and Volkswagen mainly. We have some from Mini and Audi, which is a good sign. Not everybody buying an Y, but at least coming, looking inside, asking questions, test the car. Most of all, they are testing us. Do you really provide the quality we expect? So this is the challenge, and this is the reason why we need to improve continuously in terms of product quality and in terms of service quality. This is where we are strongly focused. It's a matter of volume from Lancia, of course, because we need volume and profitability. For Lancia, it's not only that. Our challenge on a monthly basis, when I report in terms of in our business review, is a lot about quality. This is the challenge.
Thank you very much, Luca. Vladimir, this is the last question, and then we put conclusions. So, Vladimir, please.
Yes. Hello from Prague. I would like to know on how will you choose the other countries for entry for Lancia in the near future?
Well, Vladimir, I quickly told you before, not traditional way, because you when you do this kind of stuff, you look at the segment size. So you look at the big premium segment and you decide. We decided to develop a ranking slightly different. We added Italian lifestyle welcoming because we strongly play on our Italian origin. And when we speak about design, culture, art, cinema, fashion, being Italian is a value all around the world. So we strongly play on our Italian origin. We put also digital sales. Why? Because outside of Italy, we don't go for a strong capillarity. We don't need many dealers. We need passionate dealers. We are not pushing to have many dealers. We don't need big dealers. We now have a setup of 70 point of sales in Belgium, Netherlands, France, and Spain, which means, you know, more or less 10 each in Belgium and Netherlands, remaining in Spain and France. This means not a lot of dealers. I know all of them by person because I personally sign contracts with them, most of them. Never push on them to onboard Lancia, to get on board. Actually, always the opposite. Asking question: are you sure? Do you have the enough space? Do you have the right space within your dealership? Do you have the right salesman? Do you have the right leads, contact, playground to play with Lancia? It's not mandatory to have Lancia in a Stellantis dealer in Paris, for sure. In Netherlands, for sure at all. If you don't have the passion to onboard. So at this stage, 4 countries, 70 point of sales. This means that we rely a lot on online marketing activity. This does not mean that we pretend to sell cars online. We are selling some, but what we pretend is to provide a purchasing experience starting from home at very high level, because at the end, you know, if you are 100 kilometers far from your dealership in Madrid, no, you are in Madrid, you are in Burgos, it's 100 kilometers, you want to know about Lancia, you start from our website. You start from our digital experience. You start from looking for informations. And we pretend to be very good in giving our nice experience starting from digital. So this is the reason why we strongly consider that. And with 3 indicators, we came out with a priority list of France, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium. If we will be good in those markets, we started in January, in all fairness, so we see good signs in France, in all fairness. By the way, the open weekend in France, last open week, gave us nice, interesting information about traffic, about sales. Spain, of course, because it's the country where we have our plant in Zaragoza, so we have good insight from Spain. Netherlands, Belgium, you know, when I first visited Netherlands, I found 10 clubs welcoming me with beautiful cars from the past, in love with the new Ypsilon. So it was enthusiastic. It was enthusiastic in Netherlands. Belgium launch in the past was pretty successful, in particular in the B2B segment. So again, some optimistic view in Belgium as well. So these are where we are. Vladimir, again, if we will be good, you know, why not Germany? Why not some other markets in Europe? Why not expanding? But only at the condition we do well in those 4 markets.
Look, allow me just one last question, which I mentioned at the beginning, and here it's Luca, the Chief Commercial Officer, more than the Lancia, and this is referring to the facts of today. We have in Europe the Chinese manufacturers, which are doing better and better. They have big inroads already in spite of any over-taxation. In US, we have now on April the 2nd, some clear tariffs to come. So somehow Europe is in the middle, being alone is not, we feel that in Europe we are quite alone nowadays. We don't have any friends. We all hope that the mediation between Trump and Putin will end with the end of war. That's clearly what we all hope. The question to you is, how do you see this landscape of today with in Europe? How Stellantis can compete with these newcomers? Because I saw figures recently, and it's absolutely unbelievable how quickly they are growing.
I think 2 answers, Dan. The first one is that our strength is our brands. You know that I'm 25 years in this company. I started FCA, then FCA, then Stellantis. At the end, what is never changing is Lancia, Alfa Romeo, Fiat, Peugeot, Citroën. So there are brands with a beautiful history than more than 1 century. So this is our strength, and our strength stays in exactly in our how can I say, in our heritage. With all the due respect, with the beautiful technology coming from, and costs, by the way, coming from Chinese competitors, which are doing well in Europe. So all due respect, there are beautiful cars all around. From a technical, software, technological, engineer standpoint, I see a lot of flattish, mainstream, white, and similar approach. I think that being Citroën, being Peugeot, being Fiat, being 500, being Y, being Lancia, being Alfa Romeo is a strong value in terms of differentiation. I think this is a lot in terms of personality. This is not all, because you cannot have a gap in terms of technology, of course, because technology beats love, but being in love has a strong value. First. Second, this is our stronger playground Europe, Dan. We have one of the strongest dealer network. We know how to play with. In all fairness, as I said to you before, we lost some speed during 2024. It is clear that if you look at market share performance, monthly performance during 24, it's clear that our order bank was doing like this every month. We need to track back to market, stay close to the market, trying to understand what market is telling us, being close to what market tell us is wrong. Is wrong. We are adjusting our product range with new powertrain offers in line with market request, and I think this is the right direction. And again, I see already good results in January, February. Hopefully, we'll keep growing. I really invite you and your colleagues to reconvene in Q1. Maybe we can share some nice positive dynamics down.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Let me say to all my colleagues that Luca accepted the invitation. He will be participating to the gala, and for sure we will meet again over there in Vienna, and we will continue these discussions. Thank you very much, Luca, for your time and for the very interesting presentation.
No, it's my pleasure, Dan. By the way, it's actually the opposite. When I speak with all of you, with Dan, with you, and with all of you, it's always learning, and again, is listening what the market is telling us. So it's my pleasure learning from you, and working with you is my pleasure. Thank you very much, Dan, and all of you.
All the best to you. Thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.